Okay, here's a question. Can a piece of code, like, actually create music that hits you emotionally?
Hmm.
Or is it all just clever copying?
That's the core of it, isn't it? AI and music. It's a huge topic right now,
Absolutely. And that's what we're diving into today. We've been looking at this really interesting discussion, KI und Musik, Revolution oder Kunstod.
which translates to AI and music, creative revolution, or the death of art.
Hmm.
Pretty dramatic title, but it captures the debate.
It really does. So our mission here is to unpack what AI can do in music now, why creators are interested, and, the big questions about art, copyright.
Exactly. We want to give you a clear picture, help you get a handle on it without getting bogged down in like super technical jargon,
Yeah.
because this isn't some far off future thing. It's happening now.
Right. So let's start there. What can AI actually pull off in music today? It still feels a bit, well, futuristic.
It does feel that way, but the reality is pretty amazing already. There's a whole bunch of AI music tools popping up.
Like what? Any specific examples?
Yeah, the discussion we looked at mentions Soundraw, AIVA, Amper, Suno's another big one.
Yeah.
Their main thing, generating whole songs. Fast.
Fast, like.
How fast? We're talking moments, potentially. You give it some prompts and boom, you have a piece of music.
Wow. Okay, so you just, type in sad synthwave song?
It's a bit more involved, but yeah, you have control. You pick a genre, pop, classical, whatever. You define the mood, happy, dark, epic, set the tempo.
Uh-huh.
And based on that, the AI composes something original. It's learned patterns from, tons and tons of existing music.
Original, though. Like
The-
completely new. Not just cutting and pasting bits?
That's the idea. They generate novel compositions based on the statistical patterns they've learned. It's not supposed to be just a mashup.
Okay.
And it goes beyond instruments. The discussion points to tools like ElevenLabs or VoiceMod. They can create AI vocals that sound, well, surprisingly human.
AI singing, too. Seriously.
Yep. And then you've got things like ChatGPT for writing lyrics. So tools like Suno are trying to put it all together. Music, vocals, the works. AIVA is often used more for, say, film score type sounds.
So someone like me,
Mm.
zero musical talent, right?
Mhm.
I could, theoretically, use these tools and end up with a finished song. Music, lyrics, singing, everything.
That's exactly the disruptive idea. A single person potentially handling the whole process, writing, composing, even the performance, virtually speaking. No band needed, no studio.
That just changes everything, the scale of it.
It really does.
Can you give us a practical example? Like, how is someone using this right now?
Sure. Think about YouTube creators or TikTok. They always need background music, little jingles.
Right, constantly.
Instead of digging through libraries of royalty-free stuff or paying someone, they could use an AI tool, generate a unique track, royalty-free, in maybe minutes that fits their video perfectly.
Okay, yeah, I totally see the appeal there.
Yeah.
Especially if you're just starting out or on a tight budget.
Exactly. Which leads us to the next point, really. Why are creators jumping on this? What's the big draw?
It seems obvious, but let's break it down.
Well, the big things are access and speed. Like we said, no need for pricey gear, finding band members, booking studio time, all those traditional barriers, they just sort of evaporate.
So it's making music creation more accessible, lowering the bar.
Massively lowering the bar. And the speed lets you try out tons of ideas really quickly. Got a melody in your head, you can hear a version of it almost instantly.
Okay, so it's faster, cheaper, available to way more people.
Uh-huh. The discussion frames it as a democratization of creativity, making music production open to almost anyone, regardless of, prior training or money.
That sounds incredibly positive, empowering even. But, and it's a big but, isn't it?
Oh.
Does this accessibility, this ease, mean the result is actually art?
Yes. The million-dollar question. That's the heart of the debate, really. Is AI-generated music genuine art?
What are the main arguments?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be?
Well, a lot of it comes down to emotion. People often connect art with human feeling, experience, intention, pouring your heart out into a song.
Right. The artist's feeling.
And AI, well, it doesn't feel, it doesn't have experiences. It's analyzing data, recognizing patterns, what sounds sad, what sounds happy, based on millions of examples, and then replicating those patterns. It's sophisticated mimicry, essentially.
Okay, that makes sense. The AI isn't heartbroken when it writes a sad song.
Yeah.
But what about the listener? If I hear an AI song and it makes me feel something genuinely sadness, joy, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
does it matter that the creator didn't feel it?
That's a fantastic point. The listener's response is huge, right? If it evokes real emotion in you, does the source invalidate that feeling? It really pushes us to think about what we value. Is it The creator's internal state or the impact the work has on the audience? Or both?
It's tricky. Definitely complicates the definition of art. And then there's the whole imitation thing. What if the AI makes something that sounds a lot like, say, Taylor Swift or
Yeah.
Rammstein or even Mozart?
Exactly. That's where it gets legally and ethically messy. The AI learns styles by analyzing artists. So when does inspired by cross the line into infringing on?
It feels like a legal minefield. Are there rules for this yet?
People are trying to figure it out. The discussion mentioned lawmakers in the US and Europe are scrambling to catch up. Copyright law wasn't built for this.
So it's lagging behind the tech.
Massively. We've already seen examples like Spotify and TikTok pulling down AI songs that copied famous singers' voices directly. So platforms are reacting to the really obvious cases.
But the underlying tech keeps getting better faster.
Precisely. And it raises that fundamental question, who owns this stuff? If I type a prompt and an AI makes a song, is it mine? Does the AI company own it? Does the AI itself? Which sounds crazy, but
Whoa, yeah. AI ownership, that's a whole other level.
it is. Current laws generally need a human author for copyright, but this is really challenging that idea. There aren't clear answers yet.
Okay, so things are messy, legally and ethically. But people are using these tools. For creators listening who are curious, maybe want to experiment, what's the practical advice?
I think the best approach right now is to see AI as a tool, a collaborator. Not necessarily a replacement for human creativity, but something that extends it.
Like an assistant.
Sort of, yeah. Or maybe a co-pilot. The discussion suggests trying out specific tools for specific tasks, like use Soundraw to quickly generate some melody ideas you can build on.
Yeah.
Maybe use ElevenLabs if you need a realistic voiceover, or even backing vocals. Use ChatGPT to brainstorm lyrics or song structures. You could even use something like Canva Video to whip up visuals quickly for your AI track.
So integrate it into your workflow. Use it to spark ideas or handle parts of the process.
Exactly. Combine your human taste, your artistic direction, your emotional intelligence with the speed and capabilities of the AI. That blend seems to be where the most interesting potential lies right now. It expands your toolkit.
It's about augmenting creativity, not automating it entirely.
That seems to be the most productive way to think about it for now, yes.
This has been really illuminating. It feels like we're right at the start of something. Well, revolutionary, perhaps. So let's circle back to that first big question. Can AI be an artist? Or is it just a very advanced mirror reflecting us? What's your final take for our listeners?
Ultimately, whether you call AI an artist might be personal. It can definitely create things that sound impressive, even emotionally resonant. But that core element of human intent, of lived experience driving the creation, that's still different. So maybe it's best to see it as this incredibly powerful new instrument or medium that's changing how music gets made, rather than a new type of artist itself, at least for now.
A powerful tool reshaping the landscape. That makes sense. And maybe a final thought for everyone listening. As these tools get easier and easier to use, how does that change what we even mean by musical skill or originality? What does it mean to be a musician when anyone can generate a song?
Yeah, that's something we'll all be grappling with in the years ahead, isn't it? It definitely makes you think.